This wasn't part of the plan, I take it.
Actually, her coming to Waterford was always intended. You coming here, that was something that was not foreseen. Nor was it intended.
Not foreseen, not intended. On whose part? Maybe if you hadn't kept disappearing, like the invisible man, whatever was intended would have happened, instead of me getting zapped.
Albeit that was not known, it would seem that was the outcome hoped for.
Excuse me?
Look next to you. Because of your intervention, in that one moment in time, the outcome is obvious. What do you think would have happened if it would have been Alison who would have been hit by that clap of thunder instead of you?
I never really thought about that. I guess, wow.
Prior to your involvement in Alison's life, she was caught directly in the cosmic event you interfered with. She had no warning in what was coming. She had no protector. It appeared out of nowhere. It arched in time right where she laid, and she vanished, with Alison taking the brunt of the sonic boom, full force.
Oh man, I didn't know. I couldn't have known.
The force of the event, the shock of being transported to Waterford, causing her to go into premature labor.
Here, in Waterford? When we arrived a few days ago?
Correct.
Alison died giving birth?
Correct.
The baby?
He went on to grow up in Waterford's youth camp, an offshoot of the program started by you, prior to your disappearance.
The Kindertats?
The one and the same.
Whatever became of the kid?
You're talking to him.
I don't think I can take much more of this time travel stuff. Yous has just been born, and here's yous is telling me about your own birth. So all this time, yous was sending me back to save your mom's life?
Would you do any less for your own mother?
I'd do just about anything to save her life.
So have I.
Is that why yous couldn't interact with the time stream? Yous couldn't do nothing to influence events surrounding your own birth?
I couldn't take the chance that I would do anything which would cause Alison to give birth in Hell's Kitchen. She had to give birth in Waterford. It was for the sake of the time stream, of universal balance. Because of who I am, because of who Ariel is, our involvement in cosmic realities, our lives are too delicate to allow for the disruption of our own births. Some things cannot be changed.
But some things can.
Yes, some things can.
Care to tell me anything else?
Yous is at it again. Don't yous ever get tired of talking to yourself. Yous isn't even in the desert anymore, and yous is still drawing at yourself. Why don't yous go in the kitchen and talk to your ma, for goodness sake? Yous ain't that much of a joy to talk to.
She hasn't changed a bit since I knew her then. I'll leave you two alone for a while.
Of all that, it was just a radio.
I hate this time period. I don't like no object that can talk back to me.
How well I know that.
Hey now, I's not so weak no more that I can't take hand to face, Mr. Bear. Just 'cause we're in your home now, not mine, don't mean I can't defend myself neither.
I apologize, alright, I'm sorry.
I'll
I said I was sorry. Can we just have some peace and quiet for a minute?
I'll start counting. I thought I heard talking. It was the radio.
Never mind, Jenny, it was just us.
Arguing again. Why can't the two of you get along? If Alison and Lazar can make up, of all the people, why can't you two? Bunson, you are one of the nicest bears in the world. Alison seems to be sociable enough. Always something to say. I get along with her just fine. So does your ma. It's just that when the two of you try to say something to each other, it collides like two cars going in opposite directions down a one-way street.
We just got off on the wrong foot, Jenny.
Yeah, the left and the right. I give up. I honestly do. For now. Only because the two of you are both too weak for this bickering. A day will come, however, that the two of you will make peace with one another. If you both ought to remain under this roof.
It's getting awfully crowded in this house. Margaret, Wendell, Lazar. Now I's got to sleep in the parlor.
You know the only reason you are sleeping in the parlor is because it's easier for me to keep an eye on you. First, you're too weak to go up and down those stairs. Second, I don't want you running off anywhere again.
What's Lazar doing over here?
What's gotten into you, Bunson? Lazar's not only your cousin, he's one of your best friends. The only reason he's here is to look after the babies. Little Wendell adores Lazar. Now with baby Albert here, well, I can't take care of the two of you and the babies at the same time. Not with Margaret out working each day. Lazar has graciously volunteered to help with the infants.
Baby Albert, what? You named him already? When was this?
When you were napping. What's wrong with Albert? I've always loved that name.
Nothing's wrong with it. I was just surprised you named him so fast, that is all. Lazar, Albert, Wendell. Humph!
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. Just nothing.
Well then, if you're not in a talkative mood, maybe I am. Let me ask you something, Mr. Bear. Something I've been wanting to know for ages. Don't give me that innocent look either. I want to know where Sylvester was when he disappeared. When you disappeared. I got a little from him earlier. Now I want the rest of it from you. You disappeared. You showed up here all mysterious-like. Sylvester disappeared. He showed up here all mysterious-like. I know there's a connection, Bunson. What is it? Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
Tell me about it.
Now's not the time for you two to get along. I want answers, Bunson. What happened with Sylvester?
Well, I wasn't there for all of it. A lot of this I got from him and from others. As far as I know, Sylvester ran off from you and Lazar one day because of this horse that Lazar has made friends with.
That was a long time ago, and a lot has happened since then. Horace isn't such a bad fella, once you've gotten to know him at least. Besides, he's grown a lot in the last few weeks.
You'll have to fill me in on a few things too.
In time. This is your turn to fill me in.
Well, when Sylvester ran off, he came upon Allah, who I guess had also ran off when I vanished. Allah had joined up with Mervyn and someone else, an interdimensionally possessed demon from outer space called the Overseer.
Go on.
Allah got cured from his problem by this demon. Mervyn was offered a cure for his many problems by him too. Ali appeared to Sylvester and offered him a cure for his disease if Sylvester joined their merry little group. Sylvester did, for a short time, until he found out how their little group ran things. It's kind of involved, but once Sylvester saw what the Overseer's mind control was doing to Ali, as well as to others, Sylvester bolted. I eventually found Sylvester. And well, Sylvester tagged along with me for a little while.
This would explain at least a little the original crystal.
Yes, I mean, well, he got it along the way on his journey with me. Sylvester and I jumped around in time for a while. We had some fun. Things got a little dangerous, so I sent Sylvester on home with the crystal.
Not knowing what the crystal was, I took the crystal off him to examine it. Sylvester went off to brush his teeth, and then the next thing I knew, he was in the hospital.
I learned about that not long after. I was given another crystal to give to Sylvester, 'cause I learned the original crystal had gone missing.
I knew it. I knew you had something to do with saving him. But who is the mysterious party behind all this? What were you doing running around in time? With Sylvester, no less. A child as sick as can be. Not to mention, what were you doing in the Old West with Alison? All she can tell me is that one day she was sitting around the house getting drunk, pregnant as can be, and you show up. I want facts, Bunson Bear. I want them now.
I think I'd like to just lay down for a little while, Jenny. If you don't mind, I'm starting to feel a little tired.
I see. Well,
Jenny, wait,
women hate it when their men keep secrets from them. You're going to pay for that. You're going to send her right into Lazar's arms.
what do you know about that?
I saw the way you looked when she said his name. You suspect there's something between them. That's all I needed to see to convince me that I'm right. Although I always knew I was.
Saved by the bell.
No kidding. Now you'll have someone else to talk to besides me.
Whoever it is, come on in. You're more than welcome here.
Hiya, Bunson.
Elmer, what's going on? It's not him, is it?
The griefer? Nah. Jenny asked me to come over.
Jenny? What? That's even worse. What'd she do that for?
Hey, I resent that. I'm beginning to think I'm not wanted.
Nah, that ain't it. It's just,
They've been fine. Already? Cool.
Elmer,
I like this kid.
Alison,
Hey, you're all right yourself.
I give up.
Ah, young Elmer. I'm glad to see you. Did he bring it with you? Sure did. Wouldn't be here if I hadn't.
Bring what? What's all this about?
Well, you and Alison have been arguing so much. I had Lazar help me with something.
Lazar, with what?
Simmer down, old bear. You better appreciate this, old bear. I had to spend 2 hours digging it out of the school's attic. It was buried under a mountain of old films that had collapsed because of a bad shelf. All over the floor. I'm talking black spaghetti everywhere.
Great, just great. I was the one who has to clean that stuff up too.
Sucker!
This is all hot, Elmer. What'd you bring over?
It's a film that is listed in the school's databank. It's the only one of its kind. It fits you to a T, old bear.
I'll just bet it does. This day just keeps on getting better and better. What's it called?
The Griper!
The Grappa. I can think of someone that fits more than me. Well, it sure can't hurt to give it a watch none, now could it?
No, but other things can hurt a great deal. In time, old bear.
Yous and Elmer ain't going anywhere anytime soon, is yous? I could use some company.
And here I thought you were getting tired.
I'm a conscience. His conscience. I help him know what's right from wrong. Right now, I'm a very tired conscience. Because I've been awake all night trying to figure out some way to help George. He's George. And I'm him. And we're, well, you know how a conscience works. It's just about time to get up. And in a few minutes I'll be all tied up with George for the day. But first, I'd like to ask you to come along and observe. Perhaps you'll be able to tell me how I can help George. Maybe then I can get some rest. Oh, we got to tell you. George's main trouble is he's a griper.
George, breakfast ready. You gonna get up, or do I have to come in there and pull you out of bed?
Okay. Okay. Phooey. Why do you have to get up so early just to go to school? I don't see why you have to be on time anyway. See what I mean? George is griping already. Wonder why he can't be like Betty Anderson. She's the girl we walk to school with sometimes. Gotta keep conscience, too. Well, now, she always seems friendly and cheerful. It's about time to get up over at her house, too. Do you suppose she starts out a day the way George does? George! Oh, my gosh, he shouldn't be without me. You look in on Betty while I find George.
Breakfast ready, Betty. Come on, climb out of there.
Okay, Dad.
Oh, what a beautiful morning.
Oops. Better hurry. Got lots to do today.
It's just as I've always said. There's not a team today that doesn't play like a bunch of green amateurs. When I was playing ball, that sort of thing just didn't happen.
Mom, where's my green sweater?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, nothing's ever where I left it. You'd think that once, just once, you could put something down in this house and come back and it'd still be there.
Oh, wouldn't you know it? It's starting to cloud up. I knew it. I knew it. 7 days in a week, and the one day I plan to shop, it has to rain. George, will you please eat your breakfast and stop dilly-dallying around? I'm going to be late for school.
I'll make it on time. I'll make it. They'll probably have some dry old speaker in the assembly program this morning. They never fail. As you can see, George comes from a long line of gripers. I wonder if Betty has the same trouble with her family. Whoops, gotta go.
George.
Hi.
Mind if I walk to school with you?
No?
Hi.
Hi, Betty.
Betty. The rally tonight?
I hope there's a big turnout for the rally this afternoon.
It's the first game. Everyone's going to be there. You're coming, aren't you, George?
No, I'm not coming. We'll lose the game anyway. We always lose.
Well, what's eating him?
Oh, you know George. He's the biggest gripe I know. Wait a minute, George. Well, why do you suppose a swell girl like Betty would go out of her way to be nice to a wet blanket like George?
Maybe we think she's so swell because she is nice to everybody, even George.
Why do you suppose he's so sour on everything?
Maybe it's because he never does anything.
Yeah, the coach tried to get George to try for the basketball team last year. But would he do it? No, sir. Remember the first game last year? Betty and the other cheerleaders talked George into going, and boy, did he mess up the works. As soon as the team came out...
Team, fight, win tonight. Yay, team! Yay, team! Team, fight, win tonight!
What a shot, what a play, what a man. Oh, that won't make any difference. They'll probably score 3 or 4 times to our 1. See, we haven't got a chance. Coach Rankin's always plays his favorites. The really good players never get in the game.
Oh, you just say that just because you never made the team.
That's all you know. I didn't even try out for this team.
Then what right do you have to kick about how they play?
Come on, you guys. Don't let the team down now. We've got plenty of time. Let's go. Go! Fight! Win! Go, fight, win!
I told you so. I told you we couldn't win. George, you're a dope. All this griping hasn't made you any happier. And since it hasn't helped them, take a look.
I didn't mind our team losing so much, but with a sour apple like George around, it seemed to make it twice as tough.
And remember how we griped at each other for almost a week after the game?
With George's attitude of never do, I sure don't see how he gets any fun out of life.
Not only that, his griping always seems to ruin things for everyone else. Remember the day in English class when Miss Duncan made that assignment?
And now that you've all read the play, how about forming into groups and acting out some of the scenes?
Hey, look, Mom. Mama's little boy had a big part.
Let's see, George, how would you like to be chairman of one of the groups?
I'd rather not. I'd just as soon read the plays as fool around with this make-believe kid stuff.
I see. Well, perhaps we'd better not take this exercise after all. Class, open your books to page 112, please.
Now, why'd you have to go do that? You know it would have been fun to act out those scenes. You always gripe about school being so dull, yet you never help to make anything interesting. Take a look around you, George. You spread happiness like a blotter.
George's griping sure has always seemed to gum up the word.
We're great ones to talk. Do you realize we've been doing a pretty good job of griping ourselves all this time? I'll see you, Francis.
You know, the day that George Foster sees the bright side of anything, he'll probably declare a school holiday.
Isn't that the truth?
is pretty funny, isn't it?
What? No, it's kind of silly if you ask me.
Oh, George, why don't you relax and quit trying to impress everyone with how stupid you think everything is? I'm sorry, George. Come on, let's go to assembly.
I suppose you want me to sit by you so people will feel sorry for you. Now, why'd you have to go do that? Betty's just about the only friend you got left. And yet, even with her, you gotta be your nasty old self and gripe. George, if you could see yourself as others see you, I'll bet you'd change. And right away, too. It's not hard to be one of the gang. All you have to do is help out, not be a continual griper. Tell you what, why don't you go on to that assembly? Sit down by Betty. Tell her you're sorry. Oh, what's there to lose by trying? Come on, let's do it. And remember, smile. Well, there he goes. I wonder if George can really stop being the griper. Can he do anything about the griping in his home? If George could change, would the other students accept him? Does George remind you of anyone you know? What do you think?
Good news, Ginny. Sylvester shows no trace at all of the HIV virus. I don't know what that crystal is doing to him, or how. It's a complete mystery. So long as he keeps the crystal on, his health shows a miraculous recovery. It defies all medical knowledge. He's the healthiest person in all of Waterford, maybe on the entire planet.
That's terrific news, Doctor. I don't know what to say. He should still keep wearing the crystal?
I wouldn't dare take it off. You saw what happened when the last one was removed. We'd be tempting fate to repeat that mistake. He could very well have to wear it for the rest of his life.
That's a small price to pay for good health, I guess.
You're not kidding.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you.
Don't thank me. I didn't do anything. That wasn't the reason I called, Ginny. There is something else.
What is it, Doctor?
It's this virus that's going around Waterford. Well, we're calling it a virus. Truth be told, we don't know what it is. It's spreading quickly and deliberately, just as a virus would. Everywhere it can. All the hospitals are filled with the elderly and the young. Every room in every hospital is full. The ER wards are overflowing. Urgent care clinics are swamped. Doctors are overwhelmed and are now pooling resources in open field clinics. The virus is now spreading outside of Waterford's borders and into the water supply of Auburn Hills, Pontiac, West Bloomfield, and White Lake. The medical staffs that were taking the overflow from Waterford are now being overflowed themselves. The situation is dire, Ginny.
What are you gonna do, Doctor? What can be done?
I've studied the virus, Ginny, maybe more than anyone else has. Only I've got to step up on them because of Sylvester.
Sylvester, Doctor? I don't know what you mean.
The virus that's in Waterford is a lot like the HIV virus, at least in how it replicates, and how it spreads in our water supply. I've run a few tests on it with the assistance of Sylvester's crystal. I've seen some indications that if a cure is to be found, it could be done so with Sylvester's crystal, much in the same way that Sylvester has been cured with the crystal. All of this is preliminary, so please keep this confidential.
Of course, Doctor, of course.
Do you think you could bring Sylvester into the hospital on a daily basis so that I could continue my work with the crystal?
Certainly, Doctor, whatever it takes, if you think it will help.
Let's just say this, it won't hurt.
I'll see you tomorrow, Doctor.
Those two kids are the cutest little dumplings on the planet. They just hug each other the entire time they are sleeping.
That's wonderful, Lazar. I'm glad they like each other so much.
Jenny, I wanted to ask you something. When we started the contest, you were going to ask something in return for doing it. I was curious what it was that you wanted.
Oh, that, Lazar, it's not important. Regardless of how things are going with Bunson and Alison, I've got my Bunson back now. There's nothing in life I want more than what I've got. I'm happy now, Lazar. I'm happy.
There. Oh, I'll get it, Jenny.
I forgot to give you this earlier, Jenny. My mom said you wanted it. She told me to tell you that it's as good as new.